Hello friends, welcome to American Stars News. On this channel, we regularly share the latest news and spoilers from American TV shows. So, let's get into today's important update. The year 1946. A newborn baby girl is accepted. A 12-child household. Impoverished according to legend, her parents paid the doctor who delivered her with a sack of cornmeal. The young girl was Dolly Rebecca Parton, whose name would later become prominent on billboards, theaters, movie screens, and performance halls worldwide. Over the years, Dolly Parton has expanded beyond her country music career. She is an institution. She has garnered over 100 million records globally, won 11 Grammys from nearly 50 nominations, established Dollywood as a beloved theme park, and founded the Imagination Library, a literacy foundation that has distributed over 200 million free books to youngsters. Despite her wigs, rhinestones, and sharp quips, Dolly has a secret life. For 30 years, she maintained a public persona while concealing a more private side. The conflict between Dolly the icon and Dolly the woman is what makes her narrative captivating. This is not about scandal or deception. It's about survival. The story follows a Smokies girl who learns to play a role in public to safeguard her secret values. Dolly Parton's life was more complex than expected, despite her multicolored singing cloak. To comprehend Dolly's dual life, we must first comprehend her journey. Dolly Parton was born in 1946 in Locust Ridge, Tennessee, a little hamlet near Pittman Center in the Great Smoky Mountains. Born to sharecropper and construction worker Robert Lee Parton and Lee Parton, who kept the family together through music and faith, she was the fourth of 12 children. According to the account, the Partons were so poor that their father paid the doctor with a sack of cornmeal when Dolly was born. Dolly has shared this story with laughter over the years, never denying her humble roots. Some of her most memorable songs, such as Garment of Many Colors, were inspired by her poverty and the patchwork garment her mother made from rags. The one-room cabin was crowded, boisterous, and full of music. Lee taught her children Appalachian traditional tunes, while Dolly acquired church hymns. By age 10, she began performing on local Knoxville radio stations. At age 13, she debuted at the Grand Ole Opry, introduced by Johnny Cash. Even then, Dolly understood her destination. She stated, "I knew I was made for more than a hut in the woods. I wasn't aware of the distance to reach my destination." As promised, she came to Nashville the day after graduating high school in 1964 to pursue her goal. The early years were challenging. Nashville was full of hopefuls, and Dolly's high mountain voice was not the mainstream sound at the moment. Her secret weapon was persistence. After signing with Monument Records, she first focused on pop but rapidly transitioned to country music. Her breakthrough occurred in 1967 when Porter Wagoner, the show's headliner, persuaded her to join him on television. That relationship made Dolly a household name. Together, they recorded duets, traveled the country, and gained passionate fans. Despite her smiles and similar outfits, Dolly revealed another side to her, not willing to be someone's sidekick. Dolly left Wagoner's show in 1974 to pursue a solo career, a difficult decision. She penned "I Will Always Love You," a parting ballad that became a famous song, to ease the pain. This single act wonderfully captures Dolly's dual life. She is sweet on the outside but driven by tough choices, ambition, and self-definition. Beginning with a cornmeal birthright, the girl advanced to stardom. However, stardom demanded more than a good voice. It requires a well-crafted picture. This is where Dolly's other existence began to emerge. Ask Dolly Parton about her style, and she'll be honest. Creating a cheap appearance is costly. Her one-liner with a wink exemplifies her purposeful genius. In the 1970s, country music was dominated by guys in cowboy hats and women expected to perform it delicately. Dolly blew it up. She donned stunning wigs, crimson lipstick, and rhinestone outfits that gleamed like disco balls under stage lights. She revealed that her style was influenced by her hometown. Despite whispers, a woman was known for her fearlessness. According to Dolly, if that's trashy, then trashy looks fun. But here's the secret. The sparkle of Dolly was not limited to clothes. It was armor. Dolly Parton's exaggerated femininity, big hair, and busty costumes created a captivating focus for spectators, distracting them from deeper exploration. Dolly maintained her privacy behind that armor. This dedication was taken so seriously that she admitted to sleeping in makeup. Why? She aimed to be ready for public meetings without disturbing the illusion in case of a fire or earthquake at night. Imagine being so concerned about your image. Dolly endured exhaustion to survive in an industry that sometimes labels women as has-beens when they appear too ordinary. Naturally, Dolly utilized the scrutiny to her advantage. She preempted tabloid speculation about plastic surgery with a joke. She said, "If something's bagging, sagging, or dragging, I'll tuck, suck, or pluck it." She used vulnerability to create punchlines, maintaining narrative control. Her combination of transparency and secrecy is likely the most intriguing aspect. Dolly could discuss her wigs, cosmetics, and exaggerated bust line for hours. However, she closely guarded her personal life, including her marriage, hardships, and faith. Although fans believed they knew her, they only saw the version she wanted them to see. This balancing act wasn't fake. It was strategic. She saved Dolly's soul by producing the spectacle. She defined a space for herself to navigate celebrity, maintain professional control, and maintain her integrity. However, as we'll see, Dolly's contradictions increased. She was both the glamorous queen of country and the woman who startled fans by posing for Playboy. Although a fervent Christian, she wrote gospel songs while pursuing crossover success in pop and rock. Through her generosity and business acumen, she became a brand decades before it became commonplace. The wig and rhinestones were more than decoration. These masks allowed her to live two lives. One for the world and one for herself. By the time she was covered in rhinestones and wigs, Dolly Parton had established a brand. But every brand contains fine print. And Dolly's was scribbled in invisible ink. Let's begin with her marriage, the most persistent mystery. Dolly Parton married Carl Thomas Dean on May 30, 1966. The ceremony was small, just Dolly, Carl, her mother, the minister, and his wife. Carl was her partner for nearly 60 years. However, most fans view him as a ghost. He rarely attends public events, red carpets, or interviews, consistently declining opportunities equal to Olympic gold. This prompted limitless inquiry. Was he real? Did they divorce secretly? Dolly may have concealed a love past. She humorously addressed allegations, claiming that she had a mannequin named Carl in her closet. In actuality, Carl disliked the spotlight. Dolly was busy establishing Dollywood, touring stadiums, and starring in 9 to 5, while Carl ran an asphalt paving company and lived a low-key existence in Nashville. The contrast is incredible. Dolly shines in sequins, Carl wears work boots at home. One of her most prominent examples of her dual life. Also, Dolly's faith. She has never been shy about discussing her Christianity. As a child in the Smokies, gospel music was ingrained in her. She has recorded several gospel records and prays daily. However, in 1978, Dolly surprised conservative admirers by posing for Playboy. No naked photos. Despite her bunny suit ears, the image of a gospel-singing country girl in Playboy was nearly shocking. Dolly laughed after ignoring it. She reportedly did it to flaunt her cuteness at the time. It while she could. The contrast between holding the Bible and bunny ears is typical of Dolly. She never fit neatly into one box. Perhaps that's the key. The double life wasn't about concealing sins. It was about resisting being confined. She expresses the same story through her songs. On a single night in 1973, she wrote her landmark songs Jolene and I Will Always Love You. One is about envy and temptation. Another is about a gentle goodbye. The ability to express several emotions in one sitting suggests that Dolly was traversing multiple emotional worlds simultaneously. She also has a business empire. Many fans view Dollywood as a theme park with roller coasters and cinnamon buns. Hidden behind the curtain, Dolly is a skilled entrepreneur. Along with owning many Dollywood firms, she has invested in media endeavors and created her brand with precision. She often hides her true nature, portraying herself as a country girl while making multi-million-dollar judgments. The clever CEO behind the dazzling outfits is another aspect of her double existence. Don't forget generosity. Dolly's Imagination Library, founded in 1995, has distributed over 200 million free books to children worldwide. She has donated to hospitals, scholarships, and COVID-19 vaccine research at Vanderbilt University, including a $1 million donation. She often jokes about her kindness, claiming it's not for praise. Dolly stated, "I just think it's important to give back if you've been blessed, and I've been more blessed than I ever deserved." Despite her altruism, it has a double edge. The generosity is visible to the public. Dolly's mission stems from her childhood poverty and faith, which she often keeps quiet. In the 1980s and 90s, Dolly balanced her public and private lives, working in harmony. Maintaining two lives is challenging, prompting the issue of why she clung to separation for so long. Having two lives may seem glamorous, but it's actually like juggling fire. Dolly did it for decades. There are deeper causes than just wigs and snappy comebacks. The first challenge is the pressure of celebrity. Imagine waking up daily with millions craving your tale, secrets, and heartbreaks. Dolly realized early on that stardom may take over if boundaries are not established. By portraying herself in a glamorous manner, she entertained audiences while concealing her delicate emotions. It was a series of self-preservation. Second, let's discuss gender. Dolly entered country music in the 1960s, challenging the stereotype of women as meek and pleasant by accentuating her femininity with cosmetics, wigs, and figure humor. She took control of the joke before it could be used against her. When criticized for being overly flamboyant, she laughed louder. Her bust was criticized, but she turned it into a joke. It's powerful. This persona allowed her to climb ladders that may have been retracted. The third factor is control. Dolly was more than a vocalist. She was both a songwriter and entrepreneur. She holds publishing rights. Whitney Houston's rendition of I Will Always Love You became a popular single, earning her millions. She understood the importance of long-term planning to maintain control of her music and finances. During her private life, Dolly negotiated contracts, founded empires, and played chess while the world thought she was playing checkers. Please note that the double life had risks. Keeping secrets fueled rumors. For decades, tabloids speculated on her sexuality, marriage, and alleged encounters with co-stars. Dolly dismissed them with jest, stating, "Conversation is constant. If they're talking about me, they're leaving someone else alone." However, the mental strain of constantly avoiding and modifying responses must have been significant. There were times when tension was evident. Dolly paused before answering questions about Carl Dean or loneliness on the road in 80s interviews. Her 1994 autobiography, Dolly, My Life, and Other Unfinished Business, revealed her struggles with depression and self-doubt. She admitted to contemplating suicide in the 1980s, revealing her struggle to manage behind the wigs. If the double life was exhausting, why continue it? Because the alternative of giving everything away was worse. Dolly said, "I'm not going to limit myself just because people won't accept the fact that I can do something else." Separating her private and public selves allowed her to grow, experiment, and live. It worked well in certain ways. Consider this. Fans enjoyed seeing Dolly in a rhinestone jumpsuit making jokes about her bust. Dolly felt protected during her time with Carl Dean on their porch after removing the wig at home. Both lives were important, but they need not overlap. Maintaining this equilibrium for 30 years was a challenge. As with any high-wire act, there were periods of rope shaking. Dolly proved her true self beyond sequins and sass by revealing her intimate nature behind the curtain. Dolly kept Carl out of the spotlight to maintain a life free from fame. It was a duo act. Two Dolly Partons, the global diva and her private wife who cooked dinner at home. This dualism kept her sane in a consuming industry. Few people knew about her 1980s depression struggle, which she eventually detailed in her memoir, My Life, and Other Unfinished Business. She hid it with her usual fun and vigor. Behind the glamour, she struggled with health concerns, heartache, and emotional stress. Years later, she revealed those events, revealing that the stage-performing Dolly was only half the tale. Dolly's glittering mask was not deception. It was strategy. She gave us what we desired while preserving what she needed for herself. Foot embodies Southern hospitality, generosity, and family-oriented values. On the other hand, she's bold and unafraid to shock the world. Who else could donate millions to children's literacy and medical research while appearing for Playboy? That's Dolly. She wore the legendary rabbit suit in 1978. Later, at 75, she did it for her husband's birthday, telling followers, "I did it because I still had the boobs and the waistline." Classic Dolly. Additionally, she is philanthropic. Dolly goes beyond giving back. She redefines the concept of giving back. Since its inception in Tennessee, her imagination library has distributed over $200 million free books to youngsters worldwide. To support Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine research in 2020, she privately gave $1 million, prompting the joke, "Forget superheroes." Dolly Parton gave us the chance to go outside again. This is when her discrepancies become even more entertaining. Despite her success in country music, Dolly has always experimented with other genres. In the 1980s, she transitioned into pop with hits like 9 to 5 and Here You Come Again. Rockstar, released in 2023 at 77 years old, was her full-length rock album. We discussed duets with Paul McCartney, Elton John, Stevie Nicks, and others. Fans were amazed, critics were impressed, and Dolly smiled. Inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, she acknowledged to making the record as a way to earn it. That's Dolly's style. She goes beyond just showing up when challenged. She is larger, braver, and more sparkling than others. Despite the discrepancies, a common thread emerges. Dolly acts on her desires. She's unconstrained by labels or expectations. At once, she may be wholesome, seductive, humble, flashy, private, and larger than life. That paradox makes her timeless. Dolly Parton's narrative is the ultimate American fairy tale. Born in a one-room hut in the Smoky Mountains, she was paid for with a sack of cornmeal. Growing up, she suffered from lack of electricity, plumbing, and shoes. Despite poor beginnings, she established a remarkable music career. Her double life was not about scandal. It was about survival. Dolly created a captivating public character, allowing her to thrive on stage while concealing her true personality. She led a smooth double life for 30 years, deceiving no one and fooling everyone. Perhaps this is the true lesson. Dolly Parton encourages us to avoid being limited by one thing. You can embody both glitter and dirt, faith and freedom, fantasy and reality. Being Dolly Parton as both an icon and a woman can coexist without compromise. When we say Dolly lived a double life for 30 years, we mean this. Dolly led her own life. Additionally, she went beyond becoming a superstar. As a living legend, her story will endure long after the last rhinestone is gone. Your patience is appreciated. Which Dolly Parton double life moment startled you most? Share with us in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to be updated on our future content.